literature and craft beer are coming together for a fun and unique afternoon. The Boozy Book Fair is happening Saturday, May 10th from noon to 4 p.m. at Wake Brewing in Rock Island. Rain or shine, the spacious outdoor patio will transform into a pop-up marketplace of books and brews. Joining me today is Debbie Davis from Wake Brewing with a little tickle in her throat, of course, because we got, we got allergy season upon us. You're fine. You know what? We can crack these beers if that'll help. And we've got Nikki Steinbaugh, the creator of Macabre Librarian, with us, which I'm so excited to have you on the show today because you're just like, I can't wait for people to hear about your super cool thing that you started. So Debbie, Wake Brewing, it is now in its 7th year.
Yeah.
So tell us just a little bit more about the business and really the space where we're going to be having all the fun.
Sure. So we're going to be out on the patio, and we move all of the picnic tables out, so then all of the vendors can move their tents in.
Wonderful.
And we'll have room for our food truck and the Rock Island Library bookmobile as well.
I love it. Very cool. And we're seeing photos right now of not only some of your canned beers, but we just saw a photo of your beautiful patio space. And she brought a beer with her today, and I'm not going to make her talk too much about it right now because she's probably going to start coughing.
No, it's fine.
Blueberry sleaze cake with like the coolest art on it. So what kind of beer is this?
So it's a fruited pastry sour.
Okay.
That we make about, excuse me, every other year. And a little bit of milk sugar, a little bit of blueberry, a little bit of graham cracker, and a little bit of vanilla too.
Yes, it definitely tastes like dessert in the form of a beer. It's delicious. So this is something that's available. And Nikki, I mean, I really like pumped this up when I introduced you. Tell us all about the Macabre Librarian and what it is that you do.
Yeah, so I come from a used book selling background.
Yeah.
The Macabre Librarian is kind of, when I started to do my own thing, I thought, what do people want? And this is what I took from my background, is the blind date with a book thing. Yes. People really just responded well to that because it kind of nudges them, you know, out of their comfort zone when it comes to reading. And it's just this really cool tool that independent booksellers have in the age of Amazon to like draw people to a personalized experience when they're shopping for books.
Okay, very cool. And as the camera is kind of panning down right now into your whole setup here today, we're going to be able to see what one of your blind dates with a book looks like. And that's this one right here. It's wrapped in some black packaging. And there's always like a little bit of a description that's right on the front so that people can decide if that might be something that they would want to read about. Like, let's say they're into true crime, let's say they're into memoirs. That's where you're going to know if this is maybe a book that you'd want to go on a quote date with. So it's very cool. So you are going to be part of this event.
Yes.
And people are going to be able to stop by. You'll be a vendor there, and they'll be able to check out all kinds of blind date with the book.
Yes, we'll have our full selection of blind dates with the book. Everything from cookbooks to oddities and curiosities to, like you said, true crime, horror, romance too.
Yes.
We do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. That's our expertise, is matching you up with the right book.
Very cool. And because we have you here and you are one of the vendors that's going to be there next weekend, I got to ask, like, how do you choose the titles that you want to put these together? You know, I'm sure the response is always great.
It's been just a lot of experience in book selling. Like, there's no replacement for handling thousands of books and talking to hundreds of people about what they love to read. So I try to take that, and I try to take feedback from my customers as well.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. And Debbie, if you would, what kind of inspired the idea for a Boozy Book Fair? We have so many really great events in the community where we do collaborate, whether it's food and craft beer, no matter what it is. Why did you think, you know what, we want to get some of our, our readers into this, some of our literature folks?
Well, she was actually the inspiration
I love it.
behind the idea, and she came to me with it. We started planning at Wake. Every other month we do like a book party is what I call it, instead of a book club, so where we don't all have to read the same book. We don't even have to be finished with the book. It's just we all gather together and
talk
read
about it.
Because in working at craft breweries over the past couple of decades, I've seen people come in and just read in the environment. So the Venn diagram of readers and craft beer drinkers is definitely there. Yeah, the overlap is there. And so I think all of us probably remember going to the Scholastic Book Fair
Oh my gosh.
every year and how exciting it was. And I was like, let's do that for grown-ups.
Yes.
Let's do it outside at a brewery. Let's get some pizza and some libraries and some authors.
What a beautiful idea.
and it's coming together really well.
It sounds like it, and I'm glad you mentioned pizza because you guys are going to have the Wolf It Down, the food truck.
Yes.
That is there, and you have more than a dozen vendors that are participating, and they kind of all have their things. So, I mean, you have your blind date with a book going on, but we've got all kinds of other vendors that are going to be part of this as well. But everybody kind of has that little bit of a tie-in, that literature tie-in.
Yeah, and that's everyone that we've talked to, like Dust Stitch. They do custom flannels, and they specialize in different things like horror. And for this particular one, I was like, "Can you do all book-related shirts?" And they're like,
love
"Absolutely."
it.
So a lot of the vendors are customizing their selections for this event specifically.
Very cool. And before I let you go, I want to tell people this is an all ages event. So if you got the kiddos on the weekend, don't let that keep you away. And as you already mentioned, the Rock Island Library's bookmobile is going to be there, which is just wow. The kids love that.
I know, it's going to be cool. And they're going to bring like
Yard
yard
games.
games for people to interact with. And
Yes.
so I think it's going to be a really cool event.
It sounds like it's going to be a fabulous event. It is the Boozy Book Fair, and it's set for Saturday, May 10th, rain or shine, just in time actually to pick up something for Mother's Day, which is the next day. Again, this is an all-ages event with more than a dozen vendors, along with beer and food for purchase. Debbie and Nikki, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us about it. I have a feeling you guys are going to just keep doing stuff like this. It's going to be popular.
Yeah, I think it's going to grow.
Reading is having its moment right now.
It really
So it's great.
is. It absolutely is. All right.